Ryan Gosling is Neil Armstrong in Damien Chazelle's new movie, First Man. We're rolling film right now. Hey guys, what's up? It's Russell here at HHWoodReviews. Reviews. If you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button, that little bell notification icon in the corner of the screen. You guys are going to notify anytime I drop a new movie review, trailer review, anything new, you guys are going to notify, so go ahead and do that. Also, after the video, go ahead and stick around to like and comment. And I'll be reviewing First Man. First Man is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours, 21 minutes. It stars Ryan Gosling, Clara Foy, Jason Clarke, and Kyle Chandler, and is directed by Damien Chazelle. So this movie is based on the book called First Man, The Life of Neil A. Armstrong by James R. Hansen, and we pretty much get an account from 1961 up until the 1968, 1969, pretty much just accounting everything that Neil Armstrong does. The movie takes place in 1961 at the beginning, and we see kind of Neil Armstrong flying a rocket plane, and it's super intense right there at the beginning of the film. We see it like you're right in first person. Damien Chazelle puts you right in the rocket with Neil Armstrong, and we see him pretty much bouncing off the Earth's atmosphere, end up landing the rocket in the Mojave Desert, and pretty much we see that they end up grounding him because of some recent records of like slip-ups that Armstrong has had, so they kind of don't want him flying as much. We see that Karen, Neil Armstrong's daughter, is battling a brain tumor, and we see that she is going through treatments of that. We see Neil Armstrong feverishly jotting down everything that they possibly can do, like in a journal, because he really wants to try to exhaust all possible outcomes in order to try to help save his daughter. While she ends up succumbing to the brain tumor, ends up passing away. So he says, you know what, I'm going to try to apply for Project Gemini. Project Gemini, he ends up applying for and getting accepted to it. And we see that Deke Slayton, played by Kyle Chandler, stresses the importance of this mission just because of the fact that this is during the time when the Soviet Union and the United States are pretty much battling back and forth to see who can pretty much put a man up in space before the other person. And it's very, very crucial that they get this Gemini project up and going. So at this time, we kind of just see the whole importance of this and the importance of the United States trying to put a man on the moon way before the Soviets. So fast forward to 1965. We see that Neil Armstrong is part of the Gemini 8. They have a successful launch, but once they dock to where they want to dock, it's called the Agena target. It starts spinning out of control rapidly, so Neil Armstrong does stuff to try to balance it out and try to get everything back to normal. While Armstrong faces a lot of criticism when he comes back, but it's determined by NASA that he pretty much acted accordingly and that nobody was at fault. Armstrong or his crew pretty much wasn't at fault. Well, in 1967, we see that a fire ends up killing the Apollo 1 crew, and a lot of the people that Neil Armstrong, Ryan Gosling's character, had befriended have passed away, and they've just buried a lot of people that, obviously Gosling's character, Neil Armstrong, has grown up with and been friends with. So it's like a constant vicious cycle of losing people that are really close to you. Thereafter, Armstrong is is selected to head the Apollo 11 along with Buzz Aldrin, and that's obviously the one that ends up going to the moon and having a successful moon landing. But overall, this film was just really, really eye-opening. It was amazing just to put, Damien Chazelle puts you right in the driver's seat with Ryan Gosling's character. You feel everything that he feels, the tension that's going on when the rocket's shaking and stuff like that. You feel the tension of it, and that's the beauty of this movie. Chazelle really puts you in the driver's seat for this film. Ryan Gosling and Clara Foy give excellent performances. Clara Foy more so. She just plays the wife who is just, idly standing by her husband through the ups and through the downs. And Ryan Gosling's character, he's still trying to wrap his head around, the loss of his daughter, balancing out between work and family, and it really just has a toll that weighs on him and his family. So throughout the whole entire film, we see Gosling's character kind of wrestling with the idea of coping with his daughter's death, and the fact that, on top of that, also dealing with the nerves and not really kind of conveying the importance of him letting his family know that he may or may not make it back from this moon mission. So it's very important, and there's an awesome scene with Clarke pretty much saying, hey, you need to tell your sons that this you may or may not be coming back from this. You have to sit them down and talk to them. But overall, like I said, you have great performances from these two guys, Gosling and Clarke. I really think they're going to be recognized for an Oscar for both of these performances. Damien Chazelle, obviously, for Best Director, and we definitely have a Best Picture nomination in First Man. Overall, I really enjoyed the film. I really did like it. I don't think it is Damien Chazelle's best film. I still think Whiplash is the best one from Damien Chazelle, but overall, I enjoyed this film. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really liked the performances from Clarke and Ryan Gosling, and I just love the direction that Damien Chazelle went with this, putting you in the driver's seat the whole entire time. You feeling what the astronauts are feeling and going through at that same time is really something truly to behold on the screen. And I didn't get to see it in IMAX, but I can only imagine how awesome it would be to see it in IMAX. But I definitely would recommend this film if you know anything about the Apollo 11 mission, or you know anything about Neil Armstrong, or you don't. Like, I didn't know a whole lot about it going into it. I did obviously know about the Apollo 1 the Apollo 1 fire, and I knew obviously the Apollo 11 mission with Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, obviously, that went for the moon landing. But overall, like I said, it is a good historical account, and I really enjoyed the film. And like I said, it's based on that novel by James R. Henson, and it recounts pretty much, it's just a timeline from 1961 to 1969, pretty much just telling everything about Neil Armstrong. But this movie is really, really good. It is a little bit on the longer side. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It is a little bit of a slow burn, but it is very informative. It does give you a lot of information. There's a lot to digest in the film. But overall, check this one out for sure. More importantly, I want to know, have you guys seen First Man? Did you guys enjoy the film or not? Do you think Ryan Gosling and Clarke are up for some potential Oscar nominations? Go ahead, sound off there in the comments. Also, director Damien Chazelle directed this film, but I want to know, what is his best film? Do you think this one was his best film, or did you guys like Whiplash or La La Land? Go ahead, sound off on the comments. Next time at Howell's Hollywood Reviews, when I bring you the sequel to the 1978 classic Halloween. Until then, we'll see you guys in Hollywood.